I just wanted to kind of let everybody know that like we are AEW fans. We do enjoy the product. It's just right now, like WWE was back in the past. They were in lulls, and I was still watching the product because I'm a fan of a lot of the talent that are there. And I get that you can't consistently knock it out of the park. You're gonna have bad times, and hopefully that's just what AEW's in. But it just doesn't seem like the guy who's running it has any interest in listening to any criticism or the people that he has hired in the back that have been doing this longer than he has. Um,
Yeah,
Probably will
imagine
be his whole
having
life.
Jeff Jarrett, the son of a promoter, guy that has run his two of his own promotions, like, and you're not gonna listen to that guy and take his advice. You're just gonna have it. Well, this is what your job is. Just do that. It's like, no, dude. You got Jim Ross. You got Jeff Jarrett. You have Adam Copeland. These are guys that have been in the business as long or longer than what Tony Khan has been alive. And it's like, you know, I understand that he wants to run things the way that he wants to run things, and it's his money, and he's entirely entitled to doing it that way. But they were better when we first started watching them.
Yeah,
Um, WWE was terrible at the time in 2019. It was almost unwatchable.
pandemic hit,
And
and it changed it up for
yep,
both a lot.
AEW came out at a perfect time.
They did
Fans
pandemic
were
wrestling
really
better.
thirsty. Yeah, they forced WWE to step their game up, and
Yeah,
they started offering better contracts to guys. It's WCW all over again. They're like, oh, we've got somebody that can compete with us that has money. And when I say compete, I don't mean in ratings because we're not you know we're not trying to say that. Obviously they're never going to compete with the WWE in the
yeah. You're
ratings.
just saying that when it comes to contracts, they have got guys more money because Tony's willing to pay guys more than WWE will.
Exactly.
And which is a good thing for the wrestlers. Now all of a sudden they're making more money than they've ever made in their life, and WWE's putting out a better product. So if AEW is your thing and you're kind of more of an in-ring guy, then what's the name of the one guy, Ricochet? You go over there and then you do your thing there, or like Will Ospreay. Like there's plenty of guys that's what they like to do. Or if you're a guy like Cody and you're over in AEW and you're more into theatrics and just being a more larger than life character, you go over to WWE. There's two distinct options, right?
I think Cody was also more about like the business aspect of it.
Yeah.
And
You notice a difference when he left.
yeah, it wasn't great, and may not ever know the real full story as to why he left, but our,
There's
our
NDAs
understanding of
everywhere.
yeah, our basic understanding is like there were a lot of disagreements with some of the other EVPs, and we all know who those people are. We're not gonna sit here and name them and trash them, but when you
It's normal to
can't
have
get along with them,
disagreements.
yeah. But they wanted to do wrestling their way. He wanted to do wrestling the way that actually draws money, and here we are.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
No,
It's just business in the end, and look at him now.
yep. He's biggest wrestler on the planet, literally.
Yeah. I mean, I'm proud of the guy. I think everybody is. I don't think anybody's gonna not root for Dusty's son. It's he
Yeah.
deserves it more as much as everybody else. All these guys are working hard for the most part, as hard as each other at least. And it's a tough job. Like that European tour they did, that probably like made them so tired. But they're out there, and you can't tell at all that anybody's tired. They're putting
No.
on the same show that they would at a pay-per-view as they're doing on the TV taping. And that's literally like the key to it. Is like if your TV is consistent, obviously your pay-per-views are going to be good if you build to them right. And AEW can do that. But if they figure their TV out, they're going to really do good. And I feel like their TV used to be a lot better. And somewhere along the line, they lost their identity of what was working. And maybe one day, if they hand the book over to somebody else, they'll figure that out. But until they do that, AEW is going to be the same product that we've been watching.
Tony's never going to give over the book.
No.
The best thing that we can hope for is that they come up with a booking committee, like WCW
Well,
style
I
back in the
think they
day.
do to some extent, but in the end, it's the same deal as Vince. Is there's one guy making the calls.
Yeah, you're booking for a single rich guy.
Yeah. And he's not doing bad, I guess, for somebody that hasn't been doing this. a very long
Yeah.
time, and
And our
I'm
in-ring product is fantastic.
yeah, and I'm not saying we do any better. I'm just commenting on what we're seeing. It's pretty fair
Right.
to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see comments from people that are like, "Oh, if you think it's so bad, how would you do better?" And it's like, well, we're not bookers,
Yeah, I'm not saying I
and
would. I'm just commenting on what I'm seeing, just like you are.
exactly. Yeah, as a fan, especially if you've been watching it for a while and you're a quote unquote educated fan, like you kind of know what you're looking at, even if you don't know like the complete picture of everything. Like you've got a basic idea.